Now this is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report. There are several new stimulus benefits that are now available to Americans, thanks to President Biden. The House of Representatives just passed a new massive spending bill. They actually voted to approve a $715 billion transportation and water infrastructure bill that is focused on improving and repairing roads, bridges, transit, and rail systems. Everybody, who do you believe is holding back our stimulus check? Is it the Democrats or the Republicans? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like.
And in that package, he will fight for hundreds of billions of dollars in clean energy tax credits. He will fight to ensure there is an inclusion of an investment in a community core that can help fight for our climate.
On this channel, I always do my best in providing you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information, so be sure to subscribe. Now, the House of Representatives, everybody, did vote to approve a $715 billion water and infrastructure bill. The vote was 221 to 201, with 2 Republicans voting with Democrats in favor. Democratic lawmakers in the House say the bill, which is known as the Invest in America Act, will deliver on key priorities in President Biden's American Jobs Plan. And they hope the legislative text can be used to negotiate with the Senate and the White House to determine what specific policy proposals can be included as part of the recently announced bipartisan infrastructure framework. Democratic Representative Peter DeFazio of Oregon, the lead sponsor of the Invest Act and chair of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, said at a news conference, "I'm suggesting that substantial amounts of the policy in our bill should be negotiated by the White House and the Senate and the House to be part of that bipartisan proposal." Everybody, do you believe that the Democrats and Republicans should work together to help out the American people? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no.
After 3 years in office, he has proposed no solutions. Can you imagine being president of the United States and offering no ideas at all for how you would assure coming generations a strong and stable Social Security? I find it extraordinary.
Now, the framework deal reached between President Biden and a bipartisan group of senators last week outlines top-line spending numbers for a variety of priorities, but many other details of the plan remain unclear. Peter DeFazio told reporters, "The Senate bipartisan deal is an outline. There is no policy attached to the proposal. You have to have policy to do a bill." And according to a fact sheet on the bill, the Invest in America Act authorizes $343 billion for roads, bridges, and safety measures, $109 billion for transit, $95 billion for passenger and freight rail, $117 billion for drinking water infrastructure resources, and roughly $51 billion for wastewater infrastructure. Speaker Nancy Pelosi also praised the bill, calling it a strong jobs-creating package that sees as a once-in-a-century opportunity to rebuild America's infrastructure. The legislation is an authorization measure, not an appropriations bill, and it does not include a pay-for mechanism as it came out of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, and that is not part of the committee's jurisdiction. When asked about how to address the funding, DeFazio told reporters early this week, "This is always a sticking point," but said that the Ways and Means Committee has held a number of hearings, and there are members of that committee that have a multiplicity of ideas. Democratic congressional leaders have been pursuing a dual-track approach to infrastructure, pushing for a bipartisan infrastructure proposal, while at the same time setting the stage for the Senate to pass a broader package with only Democratic votes through reconciliation, and that could include any priorities left out of a bipartisan deal. The approach has led to tension on Capitol Hill, and the future of the bipartisan deal is still uncertain. The massive economic relief package that Joe Biden signed back in March is now offering free health insurance to millions of Americans through the end of 2021. As of July 1st, the benefits zero premium healthcare plans just became available, and there are no income limits to qualify. But you must meet one big eligibility requirement. If you have gotten or have been approved for unemployment benefits during 2021, you qualify to receive free health coverage for the remainder of the year via healthcare.gov. And that is the marketplace established under the Affordable Care Act. If you guys enjoyed the video, if you did, feel free to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. As always, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a great day and stay safe.
I will talk to you all later, next hour or two, whatever. I promise you I'm not going away. where I come from, that's good enough for me. So I'm going to turn it over to chairs here, and I'll talk to you all a little bit later. Have you been reading about?
No, I don't think we should go this low. I think that we need to make very dramatic investments as quickly as possible. And 1.7, I mean, for legislation, as I mentioned earlier, the Republican Party has already shown a pattern of the fact that their vote can't even be counted on. So they engage in this pattern, as we've seen with legislation, for example, the January 6th Commission, where they issue all of these demands and they say, you need to go lower, you need to do less, you have to, meet our demands. And then when some Democrats who in good faith try to accommodate in order to earn their support, that legislation comes to the floor and then they will end up pulling their support at the last minute anyway. So I don't believe that they have proven themselves to be a reliable and dependable enough legislative partner to be in the position to be making any demands of the Biden administration. Maybe when they can actually contribute and vote for legislation that they impose demands on, we can actually talk about them issuing larger demands on legislation that will be defining our infrastructure for the next 10 years. But I do not believe that the Biden administration should be doing this. I think it is, they have a history of doing this. It's manipulative. It's their way of trying to bring down investments in communities. And by the way, these cuts almost always disproportionately impact vulnerable communities. They impact communities of color, they impact rural communities, they impact low-income communities, and a lot of times they impact democratic, deep democratic communities and districts. And so, to sacrifice all of that when in the end they have a pattern of not even voting for it anyway, you're not even picking up their vote. And so I don't think that I don't think that their behavior has merited or deserves.
Mr. Trump, we are going to hold you accountable. You told the seniors of this country you were on their side. You told working people you were on their side. You said you would not cut Social Security. You would not cut Medicare. You would not cut Medicaid. You know what? Millions of us are going to demand that you keep your promise. And we're going to tell the Republican leadership in the House, we're going to tell the Republican leadership in the Senate, forget about all of your plans.